Good morning, greetings, everyone. Happy Monday. I can't believe it's the beginning of a new week, February 20th. And as always, every Monday morning, I come here live with morning coffee with Val. And this time, I've been having a lot of guests come in. I see my guest, David Duncan, in the house, and I will call him in very shortly. Thank you for those that are coming in. I don't want to lose your name, David, but I want to say greetings to everyone coming in. Thank you so much for being here. I'm telling you, like, these Monday morning coffees have been escalating in energy. And I never think who to bring on board, or if I should have this conversation with you alone or just bring somebody in. I always center myself, meditate, ask my guides to lead me. What is the message we need to share? What is the energy that is needed? What do we come here to share today? Thank you, sir. Yeah, I appreciate you coming here. What is it that our audience needs? How can we motivate, right? And this topic of the jump, how to actually have the courage from going to the known, from the unknown to the known, is just simply amazing. And so many people are into this topic. I want to go ahead and bring in my friend David. Let me see if I can bring him in, add as moderator, go live with, okay. In, and if I didn't, you can actually press the button to say you want to join. But I do believe that I'm asking you to come in, and you should be here anytime
Hi.
soon. Yeah, take those
Let me take
glasses
my
off.
glasses off so everybody can see. I am good morning to you, Val, and good morning everyone on the call. I'm
I
thrilled
am
to be here.
ecstatic
I'm thrilled to
because,
be
see,
here.
our audience loves stories. I'm a storyteller, and we get a lot of people to watch this afterwards. People are also working. But I want to just recap. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. You know how much I love you and your family. Thank you for the hearts that we are receiving. Oh, my friend from Mandala, she does so many beautiful things in wood and Fede, and I can't really see who all is here. Jessica, and all the people that will be joining us. David and I have been friends for, I counted 19 years. So I believe many of, right. I
But
believe
right.
many of you know that I used to run a Montessori school. That's my passion, education. And lo and behold, David has a son. He's got another son, but his son Eric came to our school, Decatur Montessori School in Atlanta. And I adopted that. I mean, your son, like if he was my own, since the minute he said hello. And our children became best friends. They're still friends now that they are 21, and they started at 2.5. So that journey for me, David, to see our families grow, to be there for each other. I mean, I've had Eric in Mexico, and we have been, such a close family. And now we have, in the past, we dreamt of a lot of consciousness and spoke about a different way of living the path. And you and I were always like behind the scenes, tapping into this moment that now we bring about. So David, come in and introduce yourself. And we're not going into the topic yet. Just tell a little bit about who you are, what it is that, I mean, how does it feel to be here? And how excited are you to speak about this jump that I've been kicking your butt and wanting to say, come on, puppy, I did it. Come along, right? So tell us.
well, well, well. You all know my name. I have actually two last names. It's Neves Duncan. There's a little story behind that. My mother was Catholic, and my father um, was Methodist. And my father didn't want to go through the formalities of the Catholic marriage. So the agreement was they'd get married in a Methodist church, but all the children would carry the mother's maiden name. So that's so. I when I first met Val, I had a 2.5-year-old son who uh, there was something special about him, and his name means the silent warrior. And when I remember the first day we met, Val, sitting down in that little room and talking about future, and I've watched you grow. This for me um, is these 19 years have been incredible. Um, just we've had so many conversations about life, spirituality, health, um, and this has been a 30-year journey for me. As you know, Eric was a vegetarian from birth, um, and so it's always been a focus. Um, I come from uh, most of my career spent in technology and in numerous roles. Um, but I've learned along the way how to build products, and I realized, wait a second, um, I can do this. So yes, so that's me. I'm of Jamaican and Portuguese parentage. I was born in London, grew up in Jamaica, came to school in the United States. I've lived in many countries, um, and I consider myself a world citizen in this
Absolutely.
town.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy you
So
bring
yes,
in all these memories. And in fact, you had the audacity to transport me back to those moments, and I thank you. I see my brother here, George, up here, always being a fan, and of course he knows Eric as well. So I thank you, Jorge, for being here. And yes, we've had thousands of conversations at this point in 19 years of,
yeah,
we people are just trying to do the rat race and be in these jobs out of fear because they have to pay the bills. And you and I always ran everything through you. When you had something deeper to talk about, we would, in fact, our families would get together, and you and I always managed to sit on the side and do just this that we have been called upon to do, but we didn't know exactly how to do that jump. And I do want to thank you before we jump into this hot topic that you were one of the top 3 people that had said to me, get a book out there, get a book. And I listened and I listened and I listened, but it was just sitting because, again, that fear, how, when, what are you going to say, who's going to read you? And now it just has exploded out of me. And I want to thank you because you've been a part of that journey of writing it. And I just cannot wait. It's coming out in April, people. It's
you're
coming out
welcome.
in April. So live in
You're welcome.
Atlanta. So, oh my gosh, this is like goosebumping. Now, there's 2 ways to go into the jump. One, planned a little bit, like you've had been cautious, seemed like you're going to talk about that part. And then there's that part that Val had already been living, the deep path of service, and yes, in being present. However, did not
Yes.
know how to fully do that jump, right? Especially after, I had a divorce, and then I sold the school due to Ian's health, my youngest son's health. And then I was left in death, spiritual death, number 5 or 4. I can't even remember. I've had 5 deep spiritual deaths. And I was lost, couldn't see clearly. And then I got a call to come be a speaker to Peru. And I was like, I'm going. And it was right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I said, let me just go and I'll come back. I mean, it was just the beginning of it. And lo and behold, those 8 days turned into 8.5 months. And the rest you can read in my book. But to the point of the story, sometimes these jumps happened a little bit more planned, like David. And sometimes the universe, spirit, source puts you in a position that there's no turning back. You are put into the opportunity to seek no further, and you take the jump, even if you don't have the freaking parachute on, even if you don't know where you're going to land, and you don't have resources to see what is going to happen in your life. And that was my story. And from having a carry-on bag to no computer, no friends in Peru, no money, I lost my job because I had sold the school and I had been back into the school as a director of our ex school. So I was in heaven. I was in my own home, comfortable in a beautiful apartment that I had right before that. Lost the apartment, lost the job, lost everything, and resurfaced from the dead, peeling all the skins up, every detail's on the book. And so that's how I jumped in. But many people know my story, and I want to get to yours. So tell us, David, what has been the path for you so that people understand what you were doing, what you're getting into, what has been the path? Because you're just starting this, and I'm already feeling it. I'm gonna lower the blind while I talk to you.
Well, like I said, this has been a long journey. Over 30 years ago, I took time out of the corporate world. Literally took 4 years out. I think I might have read at least 500 books in that time frame, all around health. And I, like you, I was in it. I didn't have a whole lot of resources. I was into this. I didn't really, I was doing consulting on the side. And then one day I said, I wanted to be I was going to make the jump to be a naturopath. And I managed to talk my way out of it. And for the next 25 years, I stayed on a health path, I thought. And about 15 years ago, I had a bout with cancer.
Nice to meet
Yes.
you. Nice to meet you.
Pardon me? And I realized, wait a second, that doesn't compute, right? You think you're eating right and doing everything right, but you're not. I've recovered. I made some changes, but it was the pandemic that 30 years after I had made that journey that I realized how important people's health were. A very, very good friend of mine, he's a physician. Every day, in the pandemic, he drove to Emory and he called me. And he called me when he left. And he was in the midst of it. And the things he was telling me, and he forecast the near collapse of the health system. Why? Because the system is built on treating disease. And most doctors, the vast majority, in fact, all of them, are trained to treat disease. They're literally trained to treat disease. Of the almost 2,000 hours of training they get in 4 years, they get less than 10 hours of nutrition. And I sat there and thought, should I go back into the field? This is where should I go? And then I was searching and I stumbled upon an organization of health coaches. And it's like, health coaches? What is this? As you know, I'm a coach. I'm a soccer coach. I've been a coach all my life. And so I said, wow, what? So I signed up. And I spent an entire year. I would go to work. Then I'd finish. I'd study for 2 hours. I'd go on the soccer field and train my 7-year-old boys. I'd come back 2 more hours. And I did that for an entire year. Almost 500 hours of just absorbing everything related to health, to our health. And at that point, I had a lot of thoughts. I had thousands of notes and books and ideas. And I met this wonderful mentor, Dr. Shauna Menard. Um, Her organization is Awakened Healers. And I spent 6 months with her. And out of that came a program. And that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to make the jump. I am going, this is my calling. There is no doubt in my mind. It's a question of how. And she said, you know, take your time. Take your time. And in the last year, I've coached some 25 people. And the one thing that all of them said to me was they had a plan. And so that's what I've been doing, is getting the plan ready. You know, I like to talk about meals, movement, and meditation, right? Um, those are the foundations. And I realize that if I can restore myself to health and vitality, and I'm still in that journey, everyone can. You see, the system is set up, and it's really about ignorance and profit. But all of the information is there for anyone to help to be healthy. And it's not going to be your doctor who's going to do that. So in 11 months and 15 days, I will be on that other side.
Okay.
And so I'm just preparing, you know, I'm preparing everything to make that jump, because there is no parachute.
I love this.
You know, once I go and I land on the other side, I'm running. I'm hitting the ground and running. And as you know, and you pointed out, the most difficult part of the jump is when you land, and it's the marketing, it's the getting the message out. That's the most difficult part of the jump. It's not the programs we create, it's not the ideas, it's not even the belief. Yes, it takes a transition of mind to believe that the universe is there for you. Once you have, and it's not, once you know, let me just say, it's not even, once you know, there's a difference between belief and know. Once you know, then it's how do I get my message out? And that's where I am now, working on getting that message out, because I know, and
that's where I got you and all our audience. Because see, once you are in the path and you say, yes, I'm ready, the resources have been always there. The people have been always there, but we had not seen them because we were not ready. Okay. Who in the world would say that I consider myself an expert in conveying this message of building up a story? I mean, I've done 7 cohorts of a course that's called Speak, Connect, and Grow from the Heart, that actually allows you to break free, to get the confidence to be speaking, clearly connecting through the camera or in person, and all the techniques behind it, and actually have a methodology established to be able to know your why, your how, and actually convey it in a truthful, vulnerable, honest way that really connects with all. So you see, I bet you didn't even know that detail of what I do. You see, and this is why we didn't plan. We didn't say, okay, you're going to say this, I'm going to say that. We just said, get online, you know, let's do this. And this is what I want to convey to our audience, that in this path of doing the transition, the jump, see, David has already calendarized 11 months and 15 days. Like I said, for me, there was no scheduling, no planning. It just happened. So whatever your path is, watching now or later, it's perfectly okay. It's about the slogan of my company called Trusting Your Journey. But Val, how the heck am I going to trust my journey? I need to pay my bills. I have a family. I still have those. David still has that, like other people, but is jumping into the like this what the tagline of this life, jumping from the unknown to the known, because there is a higher power, a higher source that takes over, that actually comforts you to know that somehow you will gain the abundance, everything will work out, even to your greatest, grandest way, better planned than what you used to have scheduled. So once you surrender to what my teacher says as isness of the now, and what we're doing now is just happens in a way that you are an attractor of the thoughts that you are creating, and this whole health that you are, the health system that you are talking about has actually, I mean, almost took my son's health and almost took my own health. And in fact, David, if you have not tapped into the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, and we talked a little bit about it, I think, to all our audience, that is a must. And so I just happened to spend 4 days with him and Dr. Michael Beckwith, Reverend Michael Beckwith, and okay, and
I
so
know them
Bruce
both.
Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton talks exactly what you're saying, right? Like 99% of our illnesses, 99, are due to the fact of blocked emotions and fears. 1% is genetic. Okay, so if 1% is genetic, we're talking about how to auto heal ourselves and doing that inner work. And in fact, I have a video that I launched on my YouTube channel called The Untold Story of Val that I'm actually going to send it to you because I'm not really sure you've seen it. And I speak openly about how I programmed in my subconscious brain actually to have an unhealthy life, to have something happen to me because of all the fears and traumas I've had. And I felt that when I was ill is when I had my loved ones near me. So how messed up and hurt and how much pain can we possibly carry that we become attractors of our own unhealthy, attracting unhealthy cells into our bodies?
Well, we are, our
Right?
bodies are electrochemical. So the foods you put in your body exacerbate those emotions. What I do is first with meals is really help you understand what it is you're putting into your body without, these. I have a library of over 100 diets that I've documented, and there's a diet for everyone, and there's a diet for no one. So you you know you I help you understand your body and what you put in, because everything you put in again is electrochemical. And it will affect how you think, how you emote. The empire, the meditation, is really about reprogramming
Absolutely.
yourself. But you see, there are techniques to reprogram, because if you think about it, when a little crocodile gets born, he knows exactly what he's going to do. He's programmed. We as humans, when we come out of the womb, it's 18 years before we have a clue of what to do, and all that program in between. So it's about, how do I reprogram my thoughts
About
about my
everything,
health?
right? Health and thought.
And then, yes, yeah. Well, health. Health is a big word. I start with the nutritional part. There is emotional health, social health, financial health. There's all sorts of things that make you vibrant again. What I find is, until you deal with the body and you're not struggling with the body, everything starts to become a
Absolutely,
lot
absolutely. And
easier.
you know what? I see Auda actually coming in, and Evelyn and Erika. And Auda is a mom with a child with autism and helps children with autism and all that. How important it is. Auda, I
Oh
know you
yeah,
just came in, but I definitely want you to go back and
that's
watch this program because we're talking about health and nutrition and how important it is to food, right?
you know, I just finished reading um a Fit for Life, the 2021 version by Diamond. Read it. He deals extensively in the book about autism and why one of the things that we should focus on with our children who even have any semblance of
Yeah.
it is the nutrition. There have been hundreds of thousands of studies showing that. And it takes time, but yes,
Absolutely. And
please
I'm
read
feeling
that.
right now
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put you for a challenge, and I'm going to we don't talk about it. Look, I'm throwing it out there. So, guys, first of all, before we end, obviously, I'm going to make sure that people know how to follow you. I know that you're just starting your social media and doing that jump more cautiously that I just went, boom, like I got pushed out of the airplane with no parachute. But lo and behold, it's going to be 3 years in March, and I got to share with all of you. It's the most amazing time of my entire life, where I live to my fullest, whether I'm at my highest or my lowest, when I don't know. I'm actually at a stage right now of a lot of uncertainty, and still I smile. I'm showing up. I'm writing my book. I'm making a difference and doing what I'm called upon to do. So these programs, that's why I became a neurolinguistic programmer, to change those programs, and that's why you and I are dynamite.
Yeah, that's
So
another
so as we
absolutely.
speak,
Yes,
I'm getting ready to what I believe be the closure of those unhealthy limited beliefs that I had programmed in my system, calling illness into my life. And that's where that video is called The Untold Story of Val Alino on YouTube, that I encourage you to go see, but I'll send it to you, David. And I'm soon to come
please,
to Atlanta, where David is,
please.
because I'm actually, doctors say, and I have actually seen the x-rays, and I have to have a surgery, a really quite important surgery coming up. And I have not, I will confess, and I always talk about this in my teachings, like the one aspect that I still need help on is the health, is the eating, because I became a vegetarian or a pescatarian, but not documented, just like that parachute, like the no parachute. I just became one, so I know I'm lacking nutrients. And perhaps we document how during this recovery of this surgery, you helped me establish my health through your nutrition, and we document, and
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I've had my
Yes,
12
we should.
surgeries already, and I have had a hard time rebounding because I haven't had the
Ooh.
proper health, the food, the intake. But now I'm gonna put you on the spot to help me recover from this surgery and really.
Well, the first thing I can tell you is don't eat the hospital
Well,
food.
I'm going to tell you where I am so you can come and bring it to me. Auda's in Atlanta. I know she'll come and say hi. And you know, I'm willing, I actually would be really quite excited.
Well, you know what we should do? You should prepare nutritionally
But let me
for
rewind
the
that.
surgery.
We
That's
should prepare, and I'm up to the challenge to do this with you, Val, to help you in this path that is my expertise and is in this 3 seconds your weakness. How about that?
that sounds like a plan. No, no, but seriously, just like prevention, preparation for surgery is important. So 10 days out,
We're gonna talk about it
let's
because
talk about it because I am you. There's a preparation. You want to get your body
you
nutritionally
see, guys,
ready
how
to
it
recover,
is when you have to go
right?
to
So
surgery to do this
that's
preparation
key.
before. To be honest, I never thought about it. So I have some news for you that
Yeah,
I'll share
yeah,
it publicly.
yeah, yeah,
They changed my appointment day to be seen virtually, but I still have to fly in. Okay, the system. March 16th. So I'm flying in on March 15th to Atlanta. So guys, for all of you that are watching, it's just yeah.
that's
So
enough
let's
time.
stay connected. We're gonna how can people find you now, David? That they're basically intrigued and more
So
about you.
yeah, you can go to my website. It is just, it isn't up fully yet, but Ennead, ENNEAD health.com, and just go in and connect and leave me your name, email, and I will get back to you immediately. Or you can, ping me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can email me directly at coached@enneadhealth.com. You can text me 404-275-1356. Yeah, I'm available. What we can do is, once we do that, we can talk. Just reach out, and then we go from there. The process is simple. Book a call, come to a listening call. We set goals. You get a plan,
I
and we
love
work
that.
together, and
I
I
love
support
that.
and
And
guide you.
guys, I'll be
That's it.
the guinea pig. So I'll be, I have a big mouth. So when David cures me, we're going full on to the universe.
Hold,
I'm kidding you.
well,
I
hold
know,
on now.
I
You're going to
know.
cure yourself.
I just
I'm just the
absolutely,
guide on
absolutely.
the
I actually
side.
wrote your website in the comments, but also in the Instagram. I know it's Enea. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Enea Health and Wellness
Ennead.
Coaching. So, David, I just, we're going to take advantage of this 30-minute segment because I know people have to go back to work, but I love that we connected on this topic. Guys, if you are seeking that jump and you don't know how to do it, here are two different stories. David, I allowed David to share a little bit more in depth because mine, some of you know a little bit, and like I said, my book is coming out that has a lot of the details. I mean, actually, the whole journey. So it is just about doing the jump once you now that you're healthy, now that you are having this drive. There is never, my loves, never is the right moment. I just have to break it down. It's for all the stars to align to make the jump. That's 1 in a million, and then you make the jump, and because everything is so performed and programmed and pushed, it won't come out as graceful as really living the process of feeling your intuition, following your heart, using your heart as the compass of your life, and getting that drive to allowing the people that are already there in front of you to come in to serve you in this creation of what you are meant to do. And just like we are here today, even though we've known each other for 19 years, this time and space, the universe has conspired so that David and I make this synergy. I will help him bring his voice out to create his story, and he will help me guide myself into my own health and goodness so that I can continue this legacy by putting all the stars aligned that we need to have in order to have a good health, a good spirit, a good mindset, and a good outcome in life, to be present, not just for us, but all of you. David, some final words, final message for our audience?
Um, well, first of all, thank you very, very much for having me here, Valerie. It's this has been You have been an inspiration of the last 3 years. So thank you very much. And I've seen everything that you do and how you've grown and how you've attracted some wonderful people around you, and you've healed someone. I knew you when you were just giving of yourself, and no one understood, and I understood, and I am in that, and we are healers. We are healers. What I would say to everyone listening and who is thinking about making the jump: believe in yourself. really believe in yourself. There is something magical about belief in yourself. Once you have that belief, then comes knowledge, because the universe will will conspire and make it top of your mind every single day. Before you put your head on the pillow and when you lift your head from the pillow in the morning. And
Amen.
it will come.
Amen. Beautiful
It will
message,
come.
David. Thank you so much. Thank you to our listeners. If this has been of service to you, whether you're watching it now or later, be sure to just click on that button. One click is an opportunity to love, share, and lift someone's up. And you don't even know how easy it is to do it. So please help us expand the light and create this ability to believe in our own hearts, so that we can live that jump in whatever version that looks like for you. Until next Monday, namaste, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your presence, love, and for being here today with us. Thank you, David. I will call you. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Bye,
Hetep.
bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.